Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another live seller calls. I'm looking forward to jumping in this morning. We've got a number of new leads that we're going to call. Hope everyone had an amazing Christmas. I hope everyone had a good New Year, and we're back. I have a slight different setup here, which is awesome. I hope you guys can hear me with the new mic and everything. So we're just going to jump in. So we got some new leads. I'm just going to call through the new leads today. See what we get. See what's on the table. These are just new cold call leads that have come in as of yesterday or the day before, and we're just going to jump right in. You guys can see the magic happen as we're plugging away. So we're going to go ahead and get started. As always, if you guys have questions or whatever, feel free to just ask the questions as we're going, and then what I'll do is I'll just answer them here. So
get back to the phone right now. Leave your name and number, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks a lot, and have a nice day.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Just going to drop a voicemail, and we can have a dialogue and a conversation just about what's happening. So. Also, we're live on Facebook. We're live on my personal Facebook page. We're also live on my YouTube page at Ronald Walker. If you guys have a minute, I'd love for you guys to subscribe. If you like this, you'll see more of this come out. We're on Power Play, and we're in New York. We're in Michigan, and so there's some other places. So that's what we're doing this morning. So I hope you guys are also running the business, calling people, talking to them, moving forward. You know what we have here, there's 23 this morning, so I don't know how many we're going to talk to. If we're just going to get through them all, talk to a couple. Hey, is this Gary?
This is.
Hey, Gary, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property on Roosevelt Beach.
Yes.
Hey, do you guys want to sell that property or no? I see it's a pretty nice place on the lake.
Well, no, but if the lady asked if we'd be willing to entertain an offer, I said, well, sure.
Okay.
But no, I'm not going to sign a listing. No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm actually an investor. So I would be looking to buy it myself, but I'm not really in the business of putting out offers.
Buy low and sell high, and I know what the market is. I've been there 50 years, so
yeah, that's fine.
Any room for it. Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Gary. You have a good day. Okay.
Take care.
Bye. Let's see, Gary. So on that one, obviously you guys jumped into that one. That happens all the time. People just come in. Hey, I know exactly what you're thinking. That's not someone who's motivated. So I'm gonna put not interested. Follow-ups. The cool thing, guys, about people that you call, and even if they're like that, people who answer the phone and talk, like they're great follow-ups because they can just stay in your system until they're ready to sell. And so that's good. So let's go ahead and kick this up. But I hope you guys got a good lead system that you guys are plugging away. You guys are making cold calls. You're doing text messages. You're sending out direct mail because that's how we get this.
Hello?
Hey, is this Robin?
Yeah.
Hey, Robin, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property on Francis Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys want to sell that property?
For the right offer.
Okay. Do you guys have an asking price, or what's the asking price right now?
No, we're not. No, we were contacted by your people.
Right.
It's not up for sale. We leased it out. It's an income property.
Okay.
So, go ahead.
No, I said, okay. If you guys were to sell it, what would you sell it for? Like, do you have a price?
No, I've not researched it yet.
Okay.
We know what, we think it's worth, but.
Right. What do you think it's worth?
Well, what do you think it's worth?
I don't know yet. I've looked at kind of some of the basic stuff, what you have here, but I'm not sure. If you guys don't have an asking price, I'm looking for 2 properties basically to buy by the end of the month. So I'm calling around asking if people want to sell. And usually, you know, sellers have an asking price just like on MLS for what it looks like, and kind of see if it's a good fit. So I'm an investor too here in, you know, West Michigan. So I buy rental properties. We do land contracts. We also flip properties. So we do a bunch of stuff, but it doesn't really sound like you guys are actually wanting to sell at this time.
Well, for the right price, we would. Have you talked to the person that called me yesterday?
I have their notes. Yeah, I have their notes, and you're renting it out for $900 a month. You know, it's 1,500 square feet.
That's not correct.
Okay, that's what I have here. Do you mind just kind of giving me the information?
How much a month did you say?
900 is what my notes say from my assistant that you have it rented out for.
No, we have it rented out for 1,900.
Oh, okay. They must have just put that in wrong. That's no problem. So were you thinking the house is between, like, if you were to give me a condition on the home, would you say it's, you know, been fully remodeled, it's in good condition, it's ugly, it's scary? Kind of give me an idea of the condition.
No, it's got tons of character. It
Okay.
runs well. Have you seen an exterior picture of it or anything like that?
You know, I tried pulling up the street view, and it's just got the over-the-top view that I'm looking at right now on the internet.
Oh, okay.
So I can't actually see the street view, at least from what I'm looking at right here. It doesn't pull the street view up.
Well, it's actually on Zillow.
Okay.
Because I have it up for rent on Zillow. And so there are pictures there.
Okay.
Some are not up to date, but we're always doing something to it. But it when it was built, it's 100 years old. When it was built, they put in all the upgrades and stuff. But we just put in a new boiler and
Oh, it looks really pretty. I just found the pictures.
yeah. So we just put in exterior doors. We're always doing something. It's got vinyl windows. We have it inspected every other year. We just had it inspected. We're let me see. It's on that road. It's the only lot that has a double. It has a double lot.
Okay.
It has parking, tons of parking on one side, and then it's got a shared driveway on the other. It's usually on that road. You only have one shared driveway, and that's it.
Right, and yours has that extra lot, which is nice.
Oh yes, it's very nice. They just well, not just, but probably I would say about 8 years now, something like that. They put in a new road and curbs, and that's nice.
Yeah.
It's on the MSU schedule, so you know, it typically grad students live in it.
Right.
I don't. It has a new kitchen.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the new pictures here. So let me ask you this. It sounds like, or what it looks like, is that you guys were just planning on holding this as an income property for a while and keeping it. I mean, without me calling or whatever, were you guys thinking about selling it? Like, catch me up on the speed on the plan for this house. Is it just like a long-term wealth builder? Like, what were you planning? Like, imagine I didn't call you. What was the plan with this home?
Well, it's funny you would say you're looking for two homes, because we have two homes, and we've had them for 20-some years.
Okay.
And this one, I think we're at 20. I lost count. The other one, it's over 20.
Okay.
And the other one, you can walk to campus, and
That's awesome.
Gets, it's leased for $2,900 a month. It's pretty much all done.
Is it leased for $2,900 a month because that's a lot. Like I have another property there in Lansing. I basically do Lansing, Grand Rapids, Mesquite, and Kalamazoo, and my property is nowhere near 2,029. Is that because you're close to the school and you're doing that, or is that like, are you renting to like the medical side, or what? I'm a little confused with that type of house and how much you're getting. It seems more than what I'm normally seeing.
All I can say is, I don't know what the other people are doing. I go by holding it 20 some years.
Right.
And so never had a hiccup or anything through this whole stuff going on. And so I already have a lease for the next year.
Okay. That's fantastic. So
Pardon me?
I said that's fantastic. So
here's where we're at. So we bought that house when our son was in college, and that was 2008, something like that. Let me see, 1990, 96, 97 to 2000, I don't know. I can't remember. But so we bought that home, and we've had it since then. And then, so he, when he graduated, moved out, we just thought we'd keep it. And our children are grown. We have grandchildren, and my husband's going to retire in about 5 years. And so if people are interested, we get people calling us all the time wanting it.
yeah,
So
like wanting to buy it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we would have to, if we did, it would have to work out for us to be able to, close on one in December and the other one, January 1st,
Okay.
So it's we don't want to sell two in a year, but we would like to sell them both at the same time.
I understand.
Because the income is just so great.
Yeah.
That where we keep our houses up, we do all of our work. We do the work and turn them over and all that good stuff. So
Well,
we just put a new main pipe from the house to the road on Center. So that was quite a bit of money.
yeah. So let me ask you this. I got a question for you. So it sounds like they're great income properties. You've had them for 20 years. You're not in a spot where you need the money right away, right? Like you don't need the cash. You actually don't want the tax liability for it. So if I was to take them so you didn't have to manage the properties and we could work out some type of monthly payment, would you owner finance them to me? If I covered like all the repairs, you didn't have any fees, and then maybe there was like maybe there was a balloon after so many years and you could essentially sell them without the realtor commissions, without the realtor fees, and at even higher than say market value if you rent it to me for a little bit lower for a few years, and you essentially upgrade yourself from a landlord to becoming, like Wells Fargo or a different bank?
Explain that again.
Yeah. So if you sold to me right now, you're renting, right? So you're the landlord and you're renting to the tenants. My question is, if you don't need the money right now and you want to avoid the taxes, would you sell to me with owner financing? Like, would you finance them to me?
And the owner becomes the bank, you're saying?
That's correct.
Yeah. No, I mean, what's the upside for, what would be the upside for, getting ready to retire?
Yeah, absolutely. The upside is actually huge for you if you want to offload the property. And the reason why is when you sell the property with owner finance, think of the bank. Does the bank pay taxes? No. Right? Does the bank keep the property and have to maintain the maintenance on the property and come out of their bottom line? No. Does the bank have to do property management? No, right? You become essentially the lender to me at full price. Okay. So I buy the house for whatever market value is. And then you get a monthly payment at, some type of amortization or some type of interest. Okay. And then what happens is whenever your payment becomes due, because we could say you were to sell it to me with financing and then say, hey, Ronnie, I want this paid off in 7 years, let's say. What happens is at 7 years, you get the remainder of the balance in full, and you avoid realtor commissions, you avoid closing costs, you avoid all of those fees, which on, something like this is thousands of dollars. So you not only get the monthly income, you don't have to worry about taxes, you don't have to worry about repairs, you don't have to worry about property management. And when you actually get your total sum, you don't have to worry about paying any fees to transact the property. That's how I sell a lot of my portfolio. When I buy, I turn around and I sell with owner financing. It's a way of maximizing all the value in the property without just selling it cash and paying fees and selling it at a little bit less. So there's a huge upside for you. It's just a matter of what you guys want to do. Do you want to continue renting? Do you want to upgrade to a landlord with a potential exit of the cash without paying fees? It really comes down to what are you looking for, and is this a good strategy for you, whether you sell to me or anyone else, on how you're doing. But that's how I sell my properties too, unless I need the cash right away.
Yeah, that sounds like almost like land contract in some way.
Yeah. Land contracts. That's one way of doing owner financing. That it's just yeah. Owner financing can be done through a land contract. It can be done like Wells Fargo gives people a home, like a mortgage on their home. Like there's multiple ways of actually doing it, but land contract is one of them.
When we saw, I don't want them back. I don't want to have to worry about getting them back.
Why would you?
I don't.
What do you mean you're worried about getting them back? Are you afraid that when you sell with owner financing, you get them back?
As far as like, I know land contract, they can walk away if they don't pay the balloon and or however it's set up, and then you end up with the houses back,
right,
and the mess that they created, and I don't want that. We've been, doing messes for 20 some years, and
right.
But I will say, as far as
so you're afraid I'm going to leave you at the end of the term. I'm going to leave you with a mess house and walk away, and all the money that I've put into it as an investor, and because I make my money this way in buying these houses. You're afraid I'm just going to walk away from it.
Well, it's a possibility.
Right.
Just looking at possibilities with anybody.
Right.
For the buyer, yeah, it's nice if you can find land contracts for the owner. It all depends on where they are in their phase of life.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't use a realtor. I would not be paying any realtor fees anyway.
Okay.
So I just we have so many people calling wanting them, but
So are you thinking between 80 and like 120,000 for a sale, or what's the price you're thinking? Those are the prices I'm seeing, anywhere from 80 to 125, depending on the condition of the home. Is that what you're thinking, or am I way off?
No, you're way off. No, you're way off. Because you're looking at them as residential. They're not residential. They're income properties. No, I would never, ever sell 80. I'm thinking you're probably throwing that at Francis and 120 at Center. No. And that's what I told your person when they call. Don't come back at me with a residential offer.
I don't.
That's not it.
But it's a residential building, right? Like, what am I missing?
It can be. It's licensed for four. So it's each person is renting a bedroom with common area.
Okay.
And they're paying. You take 2,900 divided by 4. That's what they're paying.
Right.
Per room.
Right.
And so you figure it out. And usually rule of thumb, or used to be rule of thumb. This market, I would think that it's different. But rule of thumb is you get per bedroom so 2,900, or look, we'll just do it this way, 2,900. It move the decimal, you're at 290. That's the cost of that.
Gotcha. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just not what I'm going to be able to do, because, with the way I'm seeing the market is, and I totally understand where you're coming from. That's not going to fit my strategy. So I appreciate your time, though.
That's why if, people like you're looking for a flip or a fixer-upper to make money on, no, that's not what we're about.
Right.
So we're not. These are great income. I'm looking for people that are wanting to buy them and rent them out.
Right.
Student rentals or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah.
And we do rentals too. We're not just fixing up and flipping. Like we do. I've got my own rental properties as well. It's just from what I'm seeing as far as the other houses that are selling, the market's just working against us. So, well, Robin, I really appreciate it.
Let me just ask you, are your rentals, are they just in neighborhoods?
Yeah, I don't have any student housing like what you have, so that's different. But even right there around the area, I mean, the highest sold property I see in your area right there is 160,000. And I mean, they did a massive remodeling and just modernizing of the home. And so it's just, I can't reconcile that.
Yeah, that's different. That's totally different.
Right.
Yeah, that's not the same.
So, all right. Well, I appreciate it, Robin.
It's investment property, income property that's not residential. If we were just selling the house, just to sell the house, which no one's going to buy this house. They'd be silly to buy this house and give up license for the license. That would just be they're good income anyway. But okay. Well,
all right. Well, you have an amazing day. Okay, I appreciate your time.
All right.
Thank you. Bye. All right. What'd you guys think of that? Any questions? What do you say up there? Nice. Yeah. So that one, it was rented out with student housing. So she was getting $2,900 a month on those rents, and the homes in the area are only going for a lot cheaper than that. So she's basically going off of a rent rate by moving the decimal and coming up with a purchase price versus what the homes in that neighborhood are actually selling. So that doesn't fit ours, but that's all right. So let's go on to the next one. What's up, Yazin? Hope you're doing all right, man. Let's see. Pull this down. Oh yeah, definitely emotionally attached to it. It doesn't fit. They've had it for 20 years. Something might change, but it's good income. Let's be real, right? If I was getting $2,900 a month, I wouldn't want to sell for, $80,000. So it's not that she's unreasonable or anything. It's just what she's looking for and what we're looking for is just different. So let's see. I actually got a message here. Sorry, guys. I do have the dialer going, so if someone picks up, we'll jump in. You guys got any questions? Any other questions? Yazin, I hope you're doing awesome. Hope things are going well. By the way, Yazin, we were able to work together. We put a property under contract. We were pushing it out in New York. So good job, bro. He reached out to us, and we actually called the seller. Got together, worked with the seller. The seller dropped the price like about 30 grand when we were talking to him. And Yazin, my man, went out there and contracted that. So good job. So we're in the process of selling it. And that would be great if you guys are in New York and you're looking for a rental property or another property. We've got one. It's amazing. So other than that, feel free to drop in some additional comments while we're waiting on somebody. Yes, sir. Fire. I love it. So dropping some comments and we'll go. So as we're waiting for someone else to pick up.
Hello?
Hey, is this Ben?
Yeah.
Hey, Ben, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your home on Cummings.
Alrighty.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty okay. How about yourself?
I'm doing real well. Do you want to sell that property or not really?
I do want to sell it, sure.
Okay. What do you want for it?
I mean, I have no use for it, so.
What do you want for it?
I honestly, I'm not sure what the thing is for.
Okay. When you
I'm open to offers.
Oh, yeah. When you say you have no use for it, did you used to live there, or what does that mean?
Yeah, I lived there. I got married about 3-4 months ago, and my wife and I built a house. So I've just been kind of working on fixing a few things up, and then we're going to sell it anyway.
All right. Well, congratulations on getting married, man. So if I was to buy it as is, right? If I was to buy it before you put stuff into it, can you give me an explanation of the condition, where the house is, just kind of the general details of it?
Sure. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-story house.
Okay.
As far as condition is concerned, virtually everything has a fresh coat of paint on it on the interior, except for there's one of the bedrooms downstairs is still in need of being repainted.
Okay.
I've got all new appliances in the kitchen within the last, I think, 4 years or so. I've got a new furnace within the last 5 years. It had a roof put on it in September.
Okay.
The garage is, it's got a detached, roughly 1,000 square foot garage, and about half of that is finished up, insulated, heated like a shop.
Nice.
Other than that, there's a few things that need some work. There's a couple of closets that need some work to install some new closet doors or something like that.
Okay.
Like I said, one of the bedrooms needs paint. Otherwise, everything is in pretty good condition.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like it's well taken care of.
I'm sorry?
It sounds like it's well taken care of.
Yeah, absolutely. both of the bathrooms were remodeled within the last probably 2 years or so.
Okay. Perfect.
So they're in good shape.
Sweet. All right. Well, I'm just to kind of let you know. So, at the end of the call, one way or another, I'm a real estate investor here in West Michigan. So I want you to feel comfortable telling me it's not a good fit if it's not a good fit for you, and I'll do the same. Okay. So I'll just be straight with you about where we're at. But I'm looking at the property and where we're at now. So catch me up to speed. So you moved out. You're getting ready. You said you were gonna get it ready to list and finish out some of the stuff and put it up. What were those things? Or that like painting the bedroom? Is there anything else that you were gonna focus on, or?
I'm gonna paint the exterior doors. I'm gonna paint those. There's a little bit of paint up and trim work outside that needs to be done. Other than that, yeah, it's mostly just a matter of packing up all of my junk and moving it out of there, and painting the one bedroom, installing those closet doors. I want to replace. There's a storm door on one of the doors that really should be replaced, so I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Replace a few light fixtures that are kind of old or weird. Just some relatively minor stuff.
Okay. Well, with where you're located, I really like where you're at, but I'm having a hard time pulling a lot of the different properties that have sold nearby because you're kind of a little ways out of the way with where the property is located.
Okay.
Did you have an idea of I know you said you didn't really know, but do you know, like if you were to wave a magic wand and have a perfect price, what would you want?
I think based on what I've seen houses selling for in the area lately, I think 250 is probably pretty close to what market value would be.
Okay. Perfect. And when we buy it, we'll pay all the closing costs. You don't have realtor fees. You don't have those things. Are you flexible on that because we're paying those, or is that 250 a hard number for you?
I can be flexible. Like I said, I'm always willing to consider any offer that anybody throws my way.
Right.
The worst that can happen is I say no. Right.
Right. Yeah, and I'm trying to buy a couple before the end of the month. I'm looking for 2 more right now, so I'm trying to go in. So I think 250, right around there is I think we're pretty close on that. Let me ask you this: what needs to be in place for you guys to feel comfortable about moving forward? Do you have to talk to anybody? Is there anything else you guys have to do? What are you guys thinking as far as what needs to happen, or how will you know you're ready to make a decision on this thing?
I would just have to, talk it over with my wife and see what she thinks. Honestly, it would be a pretty quick conversation. I think.
Okay.
I think she is more motivated than I am to get it out of our hair.
Right.
So yeah, I mean.
Let me ask you this: if I paid all those fees and everything, would you take 237?
Would honestly.
Okay.
But again, I'd have to, like I said, I just want to talk it over.
Of course.
With the wife
Yeah. No, that's totally cool. So I think at 237, I would be a player with this one. Okay. So I'd be willing to come in. I'm taking into consideration the fact that I'm going to be paying the closing costs. I think I'm going to be looking at, obviously we're avoiding the realtor commissions. We would be looking at, if we did move forward, I do need to do an inspection on the property. So I would want to come in, take a look at it, just make sure everything's like what you told me. And then we would shoot for essentially a 30-day close. Okay. So that would be, that'd be middle of February. We'd shoot for a closing date. From there, I'd essentially do my inspection. Usually that looks like either 2 or 3 times we come out to the property. Are you okay with with that if we kind of schedule that or put a lockbox on the property, or is there any concern there?
No, I'm comfortable with that.
Okay. So why don't we do this? Do you want to talk to your wife and then maybe, and then I'm going to do some additional research, make sure I can 100% commit to that. I'm 95% sure I can based on the numbers that I'm seeing. Run it by my partner to line things up so we can commit to you. And then do you want to connect a little bit later on today and see what your wife says, see if we're still on board. And if we are, we can put together the paperwork and I can send it over to you.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Okay. Is there a good time? What's your day look like today?
I mean, I work. I'll be at work till probably 5 o'clock, but I can be a little bit flexible. The house is literally 2 miles from my work.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to go out to the house today. Basically, once we put it under contract, I'll just have an inspection period. That's a pretty standard process. So if you guys just want to talk to it, is there a time maybe we could just connect to get back on the phone? Do you want to do that after work, or can I call you while you're at work, or how does that work?
Sometime later in the afternoon would probably be a good time to call.
All right. How about this? I'll shoot to call you between 3 and 4 o'clock. And if you're busy, we can just connect after you're done working.
That sounds perfect.
All right. Well, I'll do that. I'm going to put this together. If you want to talk to the wife and see if it's something you guys want to move forward with. If so, I'll put together the paperwork and I can send it over to you.
Sure, that sounds great.
All right, Ben. Again, my name is Ronald Walker. All right.
Ronald Walker?
Yes, sir. How do you say your last name?
Great question. It's Petrulia.
Petrulia. I'm glad I did not try that because I would have completely butchered it, bro.
Everyone always does.
Nice. Can I get your email, Ben? I don't have your email here for when I put the paperwork together.
It's PETROELB as in Ben @gmail.com.
Let me repeat that back to you. So that's PETROELV as in van @gmail.com.
No, I'm sorry. The last letter is B as in Ben.
Oh, B as in Ben. Nice. Okay, cool. I got it.
Yeah, sorry.
Nope, that's my fault. All right, I got it. Let's connect this afternoon. I'll do some additional due diligence just to make sure I can commit to that, and we'll connect and see if we have an agreement.
That sounds fantastic.
All right, man. I'll talk to you a little bit later.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye. Sweet. I hope you guys saw that. That was pretty good. So that one, just from looking at it and going through it, he was asking 250, as you guys saw. But I have solid comps up in the 413, 297, 430. The house, literally 3 houses over, sold for 397. So that's pretty good. And it sounds like he's taking pretty good care of the property. So we'll see what the inside looks like. My guess is that it's taken care of, it's clean, and it just needs a full remodel on the inside. So we'll see what that goes. So I'll connect with him a little bit later today. That's a really good one, guys. Let me jump over. That is really exciting. And it's in an amazing part of town. So it's in a really good part of town. And just updating this. Today. You guys got any questions on that? And follow up today. 3. Nice. That was a good one. Let me see if I got any questions. I can answer your questions before I jump in here. Any suggestions on learning comps? Yeah, I would say just practice running them. But there's also a lot of guys on YouTube that have comp series. I don't necessarily do that. I think Pace Morby does comps. I think if you look up RJ Bates, he does comps. If you look up Jamil Damji, I think they all do comps. They like run it live. So I would just look at that, right? And just kind of go learn when you're pulling them. That way you can pull them quickly. And then really, honestly, the best way to learn is just dive into like a prop stream or a batch leads and just start pulling the comps, right? Just start getting a feel for what those numbers look like and pull them that way. So, all right, let's see how many I have left. That was gone through a number of leads. We don't have too many left, so we'll see what else we can pull on the table here. So that was Cummings. Hey, is this Michael?
Who's this?
Hey, Michael, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling you about your property on Timberlake in Kentwood.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. You spoke to my assistant yesterday, I believe, about her the day before about the property. Do you want to sell it?
I wasn't looking to, but then she was asking questions, and I told her I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it for the right price.
Right. What's the right, like, what would the asking price be? What was, what price would you want?
Well, I told her like 300.
Okay. But you weren't looking at selling before. I'm essentially trying to buy something by the end of the month. And it doesn't, it sounds like that's probably not really what you're looking to do.
Oh yeah, at this point I need to start looking for another house too.
Okay. Yeah, I think, just at 300, that's probably a little bit more than what I'd be willing to pay for it. So I'm probably not your buyer. But were you planning on just staying there long term, or were you planning on selling it, or what was the plan?
I mean, I have plans to move out in the future, another year or two, maybe 3. But I wasn't expecting it, planning on moving, right now.
Right. Cool, man. Well, I don't think it's going to be a good fit for us right now, just with my timing, with your timing, and kind of where it's at. So I appreciate your you talking to me, man.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, take it easy. That is that one was over full price, just right away. He was asking way too much. Jump in here. Leads. Michael. Nice. How long have we been going, guys? Let's see what else we can get. It'd be sweet if we could get another one right here live, wouldn't it? Be super awesome. Let's see. You guys hear me all right? The new microphone, everything going good? My man, I wouldn't say this is I haven't really turned it into a show. I've just gone kind of live a few times. So I'm glad you're enjoying it, right? Yes, and I appreciate it. So
Hello.
hey, is this Todd?
It is.
Hey Todd, this is Ronald Walker. I was calling about your property on Lakeside.
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you? It sounds like you got a nice place there, or it looks like it.
Actually, I've got about 4 or 5 places there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's all. Do you want to sell any of them?
I'll tell you, the prices have gone so high, I can't even count that high anymore.
I understand that. Do you have them all right there on the lake, or what's going on?
I do. You know Macatawa at all or not?
I stayed in an Airbnb for 2 months while I was looking for a property coming back from Ireland for a while, so I know it a little bit.
Mankato is about 150 or 200 cottages. It's on, you know where the lighthouse is.
Yep.
It's on the south side of the lighthouse. It's a gated community, and it's nestled between Lake Mankato on the east and Lake Michigan on the west. And it goes back to about 1880 or 1885. The Indians lived there before that, and it's become quite a community, and it's extra nice.
Nice. Well, that play, I mean, literally the community you're in is really, really, really nice. And definitely there's been a lot of sales and turning and the price has gone up. What price point are we talking about if you were to sell them? Are you in the under $1 million? Are you way over $1 million? What are you looking at?
There's nothing that would be under $1 million.
Okay.
There is one that I might consider as a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath, or 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath. Yeah. About 600 square feet place, about 20-year-old cottage.
Yep.
If there's a negative to it, which I think is a positive, is that you're nestled in the woods, but you don't look at water.
Okay.
You're close to water, but you don't look at water. I have other property which is literally 1 foot off the deck, and you're in the sand, and 30 feet away from that is Lake Michigan. So I've got both different styles, but the one that I could talk to you about is the one in the woods. If you have any interest whatsoever, but they're not cheap.
Yeah, no. So that one, what would the asking price be?
The one up in the woods would probably be, it wouldn't be an asking price, just be this is the price it is. It would be about $1.3 million.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I got 2 right down on the water, and I was told by a realtor that one of them is approaching $4 million.
Wow, that's amazing.
Another one is approaching $2.5 million. So those are pretty pricey.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That one, that's 1.3. Do you need cash for it, or would you own or finance it?
Well,
Or own or finance part of it?
it depends on the terms.
Okay.
I mean, the answer is possibly.
Okay.
I don't need the money, so that makes it easy.
Yeah, no, it'd basically just be turning into a different type of investment, it sounds like.
Well, that or I own a bunch of property. I own 3 or 4 properties in Utah and Deer Valley, and so I run a.
Dude, that's a pretty place. That's amazing.
Well, I've got 3 places there too. They're very nice.
Yeah, I went there for we hosted a mastermind there at the top of the mountain, right there in Deer Valley, and we basically did we went to all the restaurants and took people through the evening. So really nice place. Really nice place.
I've had property there for 30, 40 years.
Okay. So these $1 million properties are not my forte. I'm just going to be straight out. Most of the stuff I do is single family under 300,000. Okay. For something like this, I would basically look to turn this into some type of short-term rental. Wouldn't be someplace I live, and then I'd use it with me and my family on the lake. We turn it into a short-term rental to turn it into into an income property, so we could do that as a second place. So I'd be interested if we could work out some kind of terms. How much down would you want on something like that if we were to do terms? And is there a particular interest rate you'd be looking for, or what are you thinking?
The answer is yes. I mean, I really haven't given a lot of thought to it. If you want to see the place, just do a search. Go to rentmakatawa.com, RENT, and then the word Makatawa, which is MACATAWA.com, and take a look. You can go room for room through the one I was just talking about, and you can see at least one of them on the lake.
Okay.
On the lake, I've got a 7-bedroom, 7-bath, which is to kill for, and that's probably $4.5 million.
That's the one I'm looking at right now. I think the 755.
No, you're looking at 751 probably. Is it 755? I don't know. Maybe it is.
Yeah, I have 755 in front of me. What's the one in the woods?
Let me see. It's Masaba Trail, MAKASABA Trail. It's 2346 Masaba Trail.
I'll take a look at it. If you're open to owner financing, I might be able to do something. If not, I'm not really looking for $1 million purchase otherwise. And it would really, I'd have to run my numbers to figure out, okay, what exactly is the strategy on it. But if you're open to it, I'll take a look at it and see if we can come to agreement. And, I can send you a text and see what a good time to reconnect is.
Where are you located?
I'm in Grand Rapids.
I went to East Grand Rapids High School many decades ago.
Nice. Unfortunately, I didn't grow up here. My wife did. I grew up in Alaska, and then we were in Dallas, Texas for 13 years, and we came up here about 3 years ago. So,
Where did your wife go to high school?
that's a really good question. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I went to East Grand Rapids in any case. I have not lived there since 1965.
Okay. Okay. Are you in Utah?
No, I'm in Chicago.
Oh, you're in Chicago. Nice. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm interested. I can't tell you we're going to do it 100%, but I'm interested in doing it. I love where you're at as far as the location right there. I like the neighborhood. If we could come to terms, I'll just tell you what I'm willing to do based on my analysis. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, man.
That's good. And I'll be here. This is my office. You've got my private number, and call me when you can.
All right. I'll call you and let you know what I'm thinking either way.
You bet.
All right. Thanks, Todd. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow. That dude owns a number of them in a ridiculously priced area, just FYI. Just insane. Like he's not wrong, right? It's 4 million, 2 million, 5 million. Like he owns a number of them right there. So he said 1.3 million for the one in the woods. Something like that's definitely not in our forte. It's probably not something I'm super interested in buying. If we could get really good terms, that would be cool, but I'm assuming probably not. Let's move this to. I'll just follow up with it later. And someone like that going into a conversation, calling him back, I can basically talk to him about the business and try to connect with him. I mean, he's got properties all over. He's in Chicago. He's got stuff in Deer Valley, Utah, which is a super pretty place. There's lots of different things there. So, cool. And I think, let's see. All right, we just got a couple left. So let's see if we can get one more. And if not, we'll jump off of here and we'll let that be the day. So you guys got any more questions or anything? I don't see any up there. So how do you guys like the new setup? You like the camera? I've got a couple more things to get because it looks like it's lagging here. So that way the lagging goes away. But I hope you like the new setup. It's pretty cool, right? Like I really like it. As far as the calls go, like talking to a guy like that, don't freak out, right? Just Cody, this is Ronald Walker. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm calling you about your property on 16 Mile in Cedar Springs.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing real good. Is that 40 acres right there?
Yes.
Are you looking to sell it?
I mean, we haven't actively been looking, but we've had people calling.
Okay. Would you be willing to sell it? I guess is probably the better question.
I mean, for the right dollar amount, it wouldn't be opposed.
Okay. We're looking for acreage. So, here basically around Grand Rapids on the west side of Michigan. So what's the right price? What would you sell it to me for?
Well, we were told by the township, because it's tillable, that it's valued about, well, actually only 35.8 of it is actually tillable. We're told tillable land is worth $6 to $7 grand an acre, and the non-tillable is only worth like 2 to 3.
Okay. So 6 to 7 an acre and 2 to 3 for non. If I bought it off market and paid the closing costs and did all that, could you give me a little bit of a discount?
I mean, realistically, I just, we need to hear what you had to say. Don't want to just throw out a number, but
That's a great question. So basically, I pulled you off of a list of a property owner who owns vacant land, and all of the West Michigan side. We basically pull 5 counties right now. I took that address and I skip traced it with your name, and this number popped up attached to the property. So that's how we found you.
Okay.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've had quite a few people, weirdly enough, like call about it and everything. So, and like quite a few people actually.
Okay.
But yeah, I would just say, throw the best offer out. Like I said, it's not something that we're actively looking, but if the price is right, you never know.
Right. So basically what we're looking at, so I work the acquisition side for land for another guy who basically comes in and does one of 2 things. He either takes it and tills it for lumber, right, for the acreage, and does that, and or will do part of it that way. And then he actually was a marketer for a hunting company. He owned a hunting company, and he'll actually come in and turn it into a hunting spot and use the land for that. And basically, redo the land, set it up for really nice hunting, hunt it, do it, and then he sells it to people who are going to hunt later on, right? So that's kind of the plan over like a couple year period, turning it into like a recreational hunting spot. So that's the strategy that we're looking at. That's why we're looking at anything that's 10 plus acres. We just did a 56 acre plot very close to where you're at. It was a little bit more of a wetland. It had wetlands in the back, so it wasn't tillable. That one we actually bought. We bought that one for a lot less because it was wetlands. We bought that one for $86,000, which is way lower than what you're going to take. My guess is you're looking for somewhere just from, and I haven't done a ton of due diligence on where you're at, right? Just popped up, and I know you said you would open. My guess is you're looking for anywhere from 150 to 220, something like that. Would that be accurate, or is that wrong?
Yeah, at the high end of that, like I said, it's definitely possible, and it really depends on everything that kind of goes into it, and there's a lot of different factors and everything, but at the high end of that, you'd be in the ballpark.
Okay, and I'm not 100% if I'm your buyer, right? Because it's got to meet a specific thing. So I don't know if I'm your buyer or not.
Yep.
How are you going to know if it's the right decision, if you want to move forward? We're essentially looking to pick up 2 by the end of January. Are you wanting to move that quick? Are you not? Are you ready to sell? Like if I was to call him and say, there's something on the line, can you take a look at it? Are you ready to move forward if it makes sense, or how are you going to make that decision? I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Well, I mean, the big thing, like I've said, is kind of, so I know, if you look at the property, it's 40 acres. And you obviously have probably looked at a sky view of it.
Yep. Yeah, I got it up on the screen right now.
Yeah, our house is right behind it.
Okay.
Just to the north of that property.
Yep.
So we own that 60 acres that's right there.
Okay.
So I guess my big thing is I wouldn't want to sell it to anybody that's going to develop it.
Yep.
No matter what.
Yep.
We wouldn't want to sell it. It wouldn't work to sell to somebody that's trying to it's buildable, but it would be really hard for somebody to build a home on it.
Yep.
And so the right buyer for that circumstance, and then whoever buys it would have to they'd have to enter through 16 or get the way to enter it through 16 Mile rather than our property.
Yeah. So right now the entering of the property is through your side. We would essentially have to put an easement off of 16 Mile to separate the entrances, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it's 2 separate parcels right now. It's
okay.
2 separate parcels right now. However, we've looked at getting it put into one parcel for tax purposes, but we keep getting these calls, so I just kind of held off on it. But right now we have an easement that goes from Rentsman Road and goes back, and so in order to do anything back there, you'd have to have an easement, because I wouldn't want people driving through right by our house to get back to there. Would be the big thing.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, it totally makes sense. So, so I'm just making a note of that, so we can look at that in our diligence. Easement off 16. Anything else I should know about it?
No, it's got, I mean, you can see everything about it. It's, I mean, it's got a really good, score as far as, growing. I don't remember what it was, like GCI or something like that.
Okay.
It's got a fence line in the middle of it that has several cherry, pear trees, several berries, things like that with a lot of deer. There's a lot of big deer around here.
Yeah.
That I use it for. That's like, I'm a big hunter, so,
Well, that's you're speaking the language I want to hear, because I already told you what the strategy is. So that is, and we're kind of unique on that front. So that's just something, just because the guy that I work with who does the land, he owned a hunting marketing company, and he's a huge hunter. And so, and he buys real estate and flips properties, and then he does this as well. So, all right, so we're at the north end around 220. It's a separate parcel. You don't want it to be developed and built. You want it to stay. You want it to stay the land there, and it to be used for those purposes. If the number comes in, or are you willing to sell, like, in the next 30 days? Are you not willing? How will you know? What's the situation there?
I think that I think if like everything came in and like everything looks good, like I said, it's not something that I'm going to say yes to like right now. But
Yep.
like if everything came in, there's not really any timeline that wouldn't potentially work. It's just the making sure that it's, like I said, it's almost more about the right the right situation. And I mean, you guys, if it's developing for hunting, that's one thing. There's also 2 shacks on. I don't know if that would be one shack for sure that's on it. That's on it right now. But
Is that by 16 Mile or no?
Is it by 16
The
Mile?
shack, yeah, or is it like back in the woods?
No, it's in the 16 Mile. That property. It's on the kind of in the middle of the east field, like on the wood line.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So as far as the development goes, I'm not 100% sure exactly how that goes, but I do know off 16 Mile, if we have to put an easement, we also have to put a spot where someone can come in and not just come in, but they'd come in and put a parking area. So that way people come in, park, and go back there to hunt. So that would be there. Let's do this. I know what kind of the price you're looking for. I know your situation. You kind of know what we're looking at. I'm going to run it by my guy. I'm just going to text it over and say, hey, he's open to sell. This is kind of what he's asking for. Based on that, what are we willing to do? I'm going to get a number, and then can we reconnect maybe tomorrow? Maybe I could give you a call tomorrow after he does that and let you know if we're still interested, or I'll tell you the price. And if we're not, I just ask that you just tell me no. And if it's not a good fit, and if it's not a good fit for us, I'll tell you no. We'll just be real straight with each other.
No, that's completely fine. Just let me know.
All right, Cody. My name's Ronald Walker again. I'll reach out to my guy. I'm going to send him the address, kind of get an idea, and then I'll give you a call back either later today or tomorrow.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right, thanks, Cody. Man, have a good one.
You too.
Bye. All right, sweet. That'd be super cool. So we're coming to the end of. Actually, I got a couple more. Let's get a couple more. Let's see if we can get one. See if we can get one more person on the phone. I got 4 more leads, so let's see if we can get through it.
Hello.
Hey, is this Dawn?
No, this is her husband.
Oh,
Want to talk to her?
I'm actually calling about the property on Clay Street. See if you guys wanted to sell that or not.
We're not going to be selling that till summer.
Not till summer? All right. Well, I'll call you back in summer.
All righty.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. All
right, let me put a follow-up. Interested, but we'll sell in a few months. All right. Let's see if we can get another interested one. Let's see if we can. Wouldn't it be sweet if we had another one? So we have two potentials on the table from today. I'm calling one guy back later on, and then that guy got to run by the other direction to see if we want to go that direction or not. So that's what we're looking for those deals. All right, this is the last call on the dialer.
Hi, this is the Google Assistant. Can I ask what you're calling about?
All right. Oh, that was actually a Google Assistant, not a voicemail. My bad. I had the voicemail. All right, guys, that was it. So we got two from today. I hope that was really, really helpful for you guys. And what we're looking at, we have two potential leads on the table to see if we're going to move forward with. We're not. It's still up in the air. But otherwise, I'd love to hear your comments. Again, guys, if you guys want to go to my YouTube channel, Ronald Walker. Subscribe for me. I've got a couple there, and I'm starting to put stuff up. Otherwise, until next time, peace.